Greetings, allies. Today is a very exciting day indeed. I'm on location in Los Angeles with none other than, well, two very special guests, in fact. The one and only living legend, Zach Sharpe, with me that I'm talking to today about John Wick. Zach Sharpe, I'm extremely honored. A world-class player, pinball player, and competitor for many years, top-rated player, and a family of pinball royalty. In fact, your brother is an extremely skilled, talented player, and your father is quite literally a pinball legend, having recently been featured on the film Pinball, The Man Who Saved the Game.
It's true.
That must have been fun, having a major motion picture focus on your pop and to a certain extent your family. I imagine that was awesome. What was that like?
Surreal. It's kind of weird to see how your parents met.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you don't have to be a pinball fan just to hear that story, but I love how it all came out and people are enjoying it.
Okay, so a huge moment in time for pinball film fans, anyone that just wants to have a good time, because Stern is releasing John Wick, the pinball machine. I think this thing's gonna set the world on fire, Zach. I mean, John Wick is just a home run because of its high budget modern action. Melded with it appeals to old school action fans as well. So married with a pinball machine, it just feels to me like the sweet spot. What are some of the ways, Zach, that Stern devised to translate this frantic on-screen action to thrill the player on this pinball playfield right here?
Yeah, so we definitely wanted to incorporate all four films, so that way you have the whole lore. You got the factions of the High Table, got the Continental, the Red Circle Club. We really just wanted to immerse everyone into this kind of neon noir world under glass. So not only do we have custom speech by Ian McShane, who plays Winston in the game, we got a custom soundtrack from Charlie Benante from Anthrax and Pantera fame. The Blood Oath marker. Lionsgate gave us the physical movie prop that we scanned. So if you look up close on the LE and Premium Edition, that is about as close to perfect that you'll see a Blood Oath marker representation in any product.
Oh, I love that. I mean, the authenticity makes it so special and adds so much value for this kind of thing.
We work really close with Lionsgate to produce the best possible product. You know, from our side, the most exciting, adrenaline-inducing pinball experience, but for them to have John Wick represented to their liking, and we knocked it out of the park on all facets, because they're extremely thrilled with how the end product came out. And from a pinball side, we're extremely excited how John Wick's muscle car bash toy interacts with gameplay, along with everything else that you see in here.
I already got a little taste of the gameplay. It feels so good. The flow of it feels very nice from what I was able to experience so far. I think fans of the films are going to love all the detail in here. The artwork is out of this world. So gameplay-wise, are the flippers essentially your guns? That's kind of what I was thinking.
Or pencils, depending on if you want to. But you do want to open up John Wick's weapons crate.
Yes.
So you can get weapons when you go on your jobs with factions of the High Table. So again, it's just immersing you in all four films depending on who you're attacking.
I was so pumped to find out that it includes all four films. That's incredible. Yeah, regarding the weapons crate, what a clever incorporation from the film. Tell me just a little bit more about how that is obtaining special weapons. How does that work with the gameplay then? Just give me a little bit of an example of that.
Sure. So when you hit it, the game's really good at kind of choreographing and showcasing you what to shoot for. So when you start a game, you'll see all these blue lights flashing. You hit it 3 times, this will pop open, reveal a hidden shot here to start a job, collect weapons as you tackle all the different factions.
So sick. This franchise, known as this sort of bullet ballet, we get thousands of choreographed shots flying around. I experienced a little bit of the multi-ball, and it was thrilling to say the least. So the multi-ball in John Wick, just tell me a little bit about it. How is that an expression of the exhilarating gunplay in the movie?
Well, the great thing is you started, I think, the car multi-ball multi-ball.
Yeah.
There's so many different multi-balls. You've got the dance club multi-ball, which is kind of the red circle club. You can start deconsecrated multi-ball by bashing on the continental. So there's different elements of what the multi-ball is trying to achieve and kind of present to the player. So there's so many different multi-balls, not to mention end wizard modes later in the game. So you get your front end candy of what you're tackling, and then depth and breadth with later in the gameplay experience.
Oh, I can imagine the epic battles those must be. One of the things about this game that got me really excited is, look, Stern is introducing a first ever dynamic AI combat system. Yes, every pinball machine, obviously there's a ton of different stuff to do, but it always becomes pretty familiar once you're playing it enough. So this is exciting. How does this dynamic AI shake things up to create a unique experience every time you fire it up?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like John Wick, you're always on guard. You never know when a bad guy is going to pop out of a corner. And with the dynamic combat system, you're going to have enemies pop up on different shots around the playfield. And if you're really good, guess what? They're going to throw more bad people at you. So it's going to kind of block certain shots that you need to hit. So for instance, if you have an enemy blocking a shot on the left ramp, you have to defeat the enemy before you can make progress in that mode by shooting that left ramp again. So again, the better you get, guess what? The dynamic combat system is going to make it more challenging for you. So while you're playing, it's never going to feel the same every game, ball to ball, because if you're having a bad game, maybe it'll be a little bit more kind to you. Still trying to attack you, but a little more kind.
I love that. I love the way that's going to tweak the scenarios every time. That sounds so much fun. Stern is doing great. I was telling you before, I think you guys are just killing it over and over again. It's such a great kind of a pinball, like modern day golden age. A lot of it in part thanks to Stern. Look, your presence at the expos and conventions, I love it. I just got my tickets to California Extreme for this year, which I'm very pumped. I go every year.
You'll see this.
I was going to say, I expect this one to be well represented. Look, walking onto the Stern, everyone has to understand if they haven't been to their regional arcade convention, Stern likely will have a presence there. And when they do, like at California Extreme, you've got this massive section of the show floor, dozens of machines, you've got spotlights and support trusses. It feels like you're walking into a rock show or something. And then you've got some of the newest games that you're showing off.
And to add to that,
yes.
Through Insider Connected, which is kind of like our Xbox Live, but for pinball, it's free to download. You can get the app on your phone device, or you can log in, old school on the computer. But there's a location map. So if you wanted to try to find a pinball machine, if you were traveling somewhere or in your neck of the woods, put in your location, and you'll see that there's connected pinball machines all over the world that you can play. Go to your local, arcade bar, family entertainment center. You name it.
The days of wandering around, looking, dipping your head into laundromats, trying to find are long over. This Stern Insider system, Insider Connected, is sick. I mean, you just scan your little barcode, like you said. You've got all your data. You've got your high scores, achievements, everything. Another thing that really got my attention regarding John Wick is when you're involved with the Insider Connected program, there are these special John Wick quests, and you receive unique contracts. This gets me very excited. So tell me a little bit about how that plays out in Wick, and also how you see this sort of continuously evolving downloadable content being implemented across other Stern games, going forward.
Yeah, so thematically, contracts can come out at any time, and what better game than John Wick to receive an in-app notification that, hey, defeat 100 enemies this week and you earn a special badge. So we're going to have tons of fun with John Wick, with Insider Connected, to have this first ever kind of notification prompt your phone and, go to battle.
Just sitting at dinner, you get a vibration on the suddenly you got a contract and you got to figure out a way.
Duty calls.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I love the vibes of that. It's so awesome. Talking about Stern at the conventions, tell me a little bit about the excitement you see that this generates for the public, and also any other ways that Stern reaches out to provide some of these exposure to these brand new pins to the public.
Yeah, I mean, we're activating at many shows, whether it's like an enthusiast show, but we have a large presence at the Consumer Electronics Show, CES. But one of our biggest ones is at Comic-Con in San Diego, where we have a pop-up arcade right next to the convention center. So we have a booth in the con hall, but we also open up a public arcade, so you don't even need tickets. We have a pop-up arcade with 40 pinball machines. We'll have a huge John Wick presence there. Walk right in, and we've got a public pop-up arcade. Get your pinball fix in and play all the latest and greatest.
Oh, very tempting. Just find your way to San Diego later in the summer and you will be in seventh heaven. I love the sound of it. Zach, I appreciate so much you talking to me today. I wish you the best of luck with John Wick. Like I said, you're going to kill it. And thank you so much for all you guys are doing for pinball. It feels so good right now to be a pinball fan.
Get connected, play more pinball.